Hi guys, I am here with your art lesson for the week. I know this is a little different because you are at home, remote for this week, but I wanted to share a lesson with you guys that you should be able to do at home. It doesn't require too many art supplies. You just need white paper, some sort of bag, like food bag, so like a Ziploc bag would be good. And then either your markers or your crayons, whatever you have at home, and then some sort of glue. So a glue stick or white glue, tape, because you could do tape rolls, that would even work. So whatever you guys have on hand, as far as those supplies go, would be great. This is a project that some of the other classes are doing here. So I wanted to try and keep it pretty similar. We are going to be doing a picture of a cardinal with some birch trees. So the birch trees are the trees that have the white trunks with like the black markings on them. If you've had me before, we've done some paintings with birch trees before. This particular one we are going to add a cardinal to, just to make it a little more holiday for the holidays. So if you want to gather up those supplies that you have and then come on back, we will get started. Again, you're going to need paper, white paper. If you have 3 pieces, that would be great, like computer paper would work. If you only have 2, then you can probably make 2 work, that's fine. And then some sort of food bag, so Ziploc bag, whatever size you have. And then you're going to need markers, blue and purple for the sky. And then you're also going to need red and black. Now the red and black, you can use crayons if you want to for that. But for the sky, we're definitely going to need blue and purple. Scissors, and then some sort of glue. So you can gather that stuff up, and then we will get started. Shift you down this way. Okay. So 2 of the pieces of paper you can set off to the side. They're going to be for the trees and for the snow and the bird, the actual cardinal. You're going to need 1 sheet first. Now if you've done, you might have seen this type of thing posted earlier in the year. This is a good method of making watercolors if you don't have watercolors at home. You can use some sort of plastic bag like this, markers, and then a piece of paper, and you can get a watercolor effect. So we're going to do that for the background for our sky. So what you're going to do is take your bag, and it doesn't matter what size you have, you can make any size work. You're going to take your bag and you're just going to color on it with your marker. So I'm going to do blues and purples for the sky. If you would just prefer to do all blue, that's fine. If you would prefer to do all purple, that's fine. You could also do yellow to make it look like the sun is shining. If you wanted to do a sunset or a sunrise, you could do the warm colors. You could do reds, oranges, and yellows. You would just do the same method. So you would color on the baggie with those colors instead of the colors that I'm using. It does not have to be colored perfectly. If you can tell, my is not perfectly solid. There's probably going to be spots where it looks like the marker is not sticking. It's fine, it's really there, it's just because of the plastic. So now what you're going to do is just kind of slide this off to the side for a second. And you're going to take your paper. Now in order to get the marker to transfer to the paper, we need to get this wet, not soaking wet. So all I did was take a paper towel, got it wet, and I'm going to rub it all over this piece of paper, but you want to go pretty quickly. I squeeze it a little bit too to get it really wet. So you want to get it really wet. And then you're going to take your bag and marker side down. You are going to set it onto your paper and then rub with your hands. And you should be able to see the marker start going to your paper. And if you keep rubbing, and then when you peel the bag off, the marker has come off the bag and has gone onto your paper. So it looks kind of like a watercolor. So that's going to be our background, our sky. So this needs to dry a little bit. So this can go off to the side for right now. Okay, your next piece of paper. We are going to draw some snow for the bottom of our paper, and then we're going to do a circle that's going to end up being turned into the cardinal. Okay? So grab, I'm just going to use a marker because I have it here. Make sure your paper is the tall way in front of you. We want it vertical, okay? And across the bottom, just do a curved line like that. Okay? And then you can cut that. And this is going to be our snow. So this can get glued. If your paper is still damp, you might want to wait to glue to the end, but mine is pretty dry. You're going to glue that down to the bottom, and it just makes a nice, clean looking snowbank at the bottom of our page, so it looks like the ground. Okay, so you can set that off to the side again. So take that same paper you had, and up here at the top we are going to draw a circle for our cardinal. So you can, does not have to be a huge circle. Like that works. And then you're going to color the circle in red. This is the part where you could use, if you don't have a red marker, red crayon would work, red colored pencil would work. If you have red paper at home, like you have construction paper, then you could just draw a circle right on that red construction paper, and that would work too. We're doing red because cardinals are red. Cardinals are those red birds that you see outside once in a while. You also see them used a lot around the holidays. Okay, so now you have a red circle that's colored in, and we need to cut this out because this is going to be for our cardinal. Okay, scrap off to the side. Now what I want you to do with this red circle is fold it in half. So it's going to look like a taco. You're going to open it back up and cut it right on that fold line. So you have two halves. Okay? One we're going to leave this size. This one we need to cut into 3 pieces. So I'm going to use a black, you can use a marker or a crayon, and I added 2 lines to this piece. And you're going to cut right on those lines. So now you should have a half of circle and 3 little pieces. These will be for your cardinals, okay? Or your cardinal. So you can set those right off to the side. Grab your last piece of paper. And this is going to be for our birch trees. So on this piece of paper, make sure again that it's the tall way. You're going to draw three lines on your page. So this is where I said if you only have 2 pieces of paper, you could also draw the curved line on this piece for your snow and the circle for your cardinal. Okay, so you can use just 2 pieces if you have it. I just use 3 because it's a little bit easier. 3 lines. So that means you now have 3 tree trunks. 1, 2, 3. Birch trees have white bark, but they also have black markings on them. So now you can take your crayon and you can do these little scribble marks. You can do some lines, and you're going to do that on all 3 of those tree trunks that you made. They don't have to be perfect because it's the bark, and the bark is rough, it curls, it cracks, so you don't have to be perfect with it. You don't have to do a lot of black lines. You just want a few here and there so it looks like the bark. Okay? And now we're going to cut these trunks out. So that part is scrap. So the 3 sections where you put your markings are our 3 tree trunks. Okay, so I'm going to set these here, and now we're going to glue everything. So we already glued the snow at the bottom. So now we're going to glue on our tree trunks. If you only have white glue at home, that's fine. If you have a glue stick, that'll work. If you have tape, you can do tape rolls on the back. Put glue on the back, and then just stick your tree trunks on wherever you want them to go. They can be angled a little bit like this. Not all trees are perfectly straight up and down. Or if you want to do one so it's higher up on the snowbank like that, that's okay, because if it goes off your paper like this, you can just take your scissors, trim it off. Okay, so now that we got our tree trunks glued on, now we're going to do our cardinal. So you need the half circle first, okay? That's the body of the bird. And you can glue it wherever you want your cardinal to go. So there's the body. These 3 are going to be 2 wings and the tail feathers, okay? So put glue on the back of one and stick it to the back of the bird. That will be the tail feather. And then these 2 are going to be the wings. So I'm going to have one up here, because mine's going to look like it's flying. And then one down here. And now it's missing an eye and a beak. So the eye, you can use your crayon or your marker, whatever you have. And if you want, you can take your scrap paper, cut the corner off, because then you have a triangle, which is what you want for the beak. And we can glue that on, and then we'll color it in. Glue it right on to the end. And then I'm going to use a yellow marker. And you could color it yellow before you cut it if you want. There we go for the beak. Now if you wanted to, when this background dries really, really well, you could take, if you have a white crayon or a white color pencil, you could take that and draw, mine's still kind of wet so it's not showing up very well. You could draw some circles on there for snow, or you could just leave it like this. But there is your winter birch tree cardinal picture. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.